Okay, so today we are going to start a very important module of our syllabus, that is the module number 5, network layer. Okay, so as these layers are part of TCP/IP model. Okay, so we know that in the TCP/IP we have the 5 layers: physical, data link, network, transport, and application. So the full form of TCP/IP is TCP indicate the transmission control protocol, that is the part of transport layer, and we have one more protocol, that is the IP, internet protocol, and that is the part of the network layer. So as you can suggest that the name of the TCP/IP model is also based on the protocols of the network layers. Okay, so that's why we can say that this layer is very much important, and the maximum weightage is given to only these layers. Okay. So we know that the position of the network layer in the TCP/IP model is below the transport layer and above the data link layer. So we can say that it will take the data from the transport layer, create the packets, and transfer that package to the data link layer. Okay. And same way at the receiving side, it will accept the frames from the data link layer, create the packets, and deliver that package to the transport layer. So we know that there are various responsibilities of the network layer, but the major responsibility of the network layer is host to host delivery. Okay. So what is the meaning of host to host delivery? So we have seen that let's say if we consider this type of networks in which we can say that there is one devices in the one network and there is one more devices that is in the another network. Okay, so what is the meaning of host to host delivery? So it is also known as source to destination delivery. Okay, that let's say this A is our source, this is our one network, and this F is in the another network. Okay, so for this type of delivery we require the network layer. Okay, so if you want to perform the communication between the two different networks, then you require the network layer. Okay, so up till now we have seen that physical data link. So physical data link, so these two layers are mainly responsible when we want to perform our data within the network. Okay, but જ્યારે પણ તમારો data network છોડીને suppose કોઈ બીજા networkમાં જાય છે, at that time we require the network layer. Okay, and we can say that when our data is going to the another network, we require the some type of devices that can transfer your data to that particular network. Okay, and so that devices are known as the routers. So those devices are known as the router. So the main responsibilities of the router is to transfer your data from one network to the another network. Okay. So you can see here that in this example, we can say that A is our source and F is our destination. So if you want to transfer your data from A to the F, then you require some intermediate routers. So we can say that B is one router and E is one router. Okay. So when you are transferring data from A to the first router, that is B, so that type of deliveries are known as the hop to hop delivery. And for that, we have seen that we require the data link layer. And for this type of delivery, okay, so when we have this hop to hop delivery, we are following the ARP protocols. Okay. Same way for B to E, we require the hop to hop delivery. Okay. And for that, we require the data link layer. Okay. And for E to F, it is also a hop to hop delivery. And for that, we require the data link layer. Okay, but finally when your data is reaches to the end devices, okay, so for that we require the network layer. Okay, and for that we are using the IP address. Okay, so we will see that IP addresses consist of two components that are known as the net ID and host ID. We will see that very soon. Okay, so that IP addresses consist of net ID and host ID. So this net ID is used to identify the particular network, while the host ID is used to identify the particular host within that network. Okay, net ID થી આપણને particular network મળે અને network ની અંદર આપણે particular host ને જાણવું હોય, તો for that we require the host ID. So suppose જ્યારે આપણે Cisco packet tracer માં experiment perform કર્યા હતા, okay, at that time we have seen that we have assigned the IP address to the 4 devices. The first one was 192.168.10.1. Second was 192.168.10.2, 192.168.10.3, and 192.168.10.3. Okay, so we have seen that જે આપણા ચારે ચાર ડિવાઇસ છે એના માટે ફર્સ્ટ થ્રી વેલ્યુઝ 192.168.10 that is common. Okay, આપણા જે ચારે ચાર ડિવાઇસ હતા એના માટે આપણું 192.168.10 that value will be common. Okay, while 1, 2, 3 and 4, so these values are going to be changed. So we can say that this 192.168.10 that are known as the net ID, so that are used to identify the particular network, while 1, 2, 3 and 4, these are known as the host ID that are used to identify the particular host within the network. Okay, so we will see that concept very soon. Okay, but here we can say that the network layer is mainly responsible for host to host delivery, or we can say that source to destination delivery, and for that we require the IP address. Okay, one more thing about this host to host delivery is whenever your data is reaches to the intermediate routers, okay, it has to pass through the all three layers, that is physical, data link and network. Okay, the reason is at the router we are performing very important functionalities that is known as the routing. Okay, the meaning of routing is to identify the particular interface through which you have to transfer your data. Okay, for example, a router B, we can see here that there are two paths, that one path is going to the C, another path is going through the E. Okay, but router, we have seen that in the experiment number 2, we have seen that router is an intelligent devices. That router has one table that is known as the routing table that are used to make a decision that on which interface I had to transfer data. Okay? So for example, at router B, we have one routing table that are used to decide that if your data is destined for the F, then the router has to transfer the data through the E. Okay, so such type of decision can be taken by the router. Okay, and for that we have the various routing protocols that we will see. That there are two categories of routing protocol, that is the distance vector routing and the link state routing. And the distance vector routing, again we have the two protocol, that is RIP and OSPF, that we are going to see. Okay, so the main thing about this network layer is, the first thing is we need to learn about the host to host delivery, and for that we require the IP address. So the first thing we will learn is તમારું IP address કઈ રીતે બનેલું છે, what are the various we can say what are the various methods of the IP, that how we can provide the addresses using the IP. So we have the various method like the classful addressing, classless addressing. Okay, then we have the various concept like the subnetting, supernetting. Okay, and suppose you have given one address, then how you can identify the first address, last address and total number of hosts within that network. So such type of example we will see when we learn the first responsibility, that is host to host delivery. Okay, second thing is about the various protocols that are used to define the particular delivery of the packets. Okay, so these protocols are one most common protocol on the network layer is IP. So we will see the syntax of IP, and the second one was ICMP. Okay, so what is the construction of IP and ICMP, that also we are going to see. And third thing is about the various routing protocols. Okay, so as I have said that routing can be, it can be distance vector routing or it can be the link state routing. So the distance vector routing, we will see the two common protocol, that is the RIP and OSPF. And in the link state routing, we will see one most common protocol, that is the spanning tree protocol. Okay, so routing કઈ રીતે perform થાય અને network layer protocol કઈ રીતે work કરે અને addressing કઈ રીતે work કરે. So these are the main concept of this network layer. Okay, this is all about the overview of network layer. Okay, okay. Various duties of the network layer. So first thing is, we can say that packetizing, or we can say that creating the packets. Okay, so we can say that when your data is received from the transport layer, the network layer has to create the frame. Network layer has to create the packet. Okay, so and the transport layer we have the segments, and on the network layer we have the packets. So transport layer પર જ્યારે આપણું segment network layer પર આવે છે, so on that segment we have to add some header values. Okay, in the header value we are adding the source IP and destination IP, and also some required information that are useful for some network layer protocols. Okay, so this process are known as the encapsulation. જે કોઈ પણ તમારું સેગમેન્ટ ટ્રાન્સપોર્ટ લેયર પરથી આવે છે તો તે સેગમેન્ટની અંદર we are adding the source address, source IP address and destination IP address, and also some fields that are useful for network layer protocols. Okay, and finally that packet is delivered to the data link layer. Okay, so same process are going to be repeat at the network layer at the receiving side. At the receiving side we need to remove the headers. And by removing the header you can identify that this packet is destined for this particular destination, and this packet is following this protocols. Okay, so the process of removing the header at the destination, so it is known as the decapsulation. So sender બાજુ થશે આપણું encapsulation અને receiver બાજુ થશે આપણું decapsulation. Encapsulation માં આપણી header value add થશે અને decapsulation માં આપણી header value remove થશે. Header માં કઈ value આવી શકે? So in the header we can add source IP address, destination IP address, and also some information that are required by network layer protocols. Okay, another thing is that is one concept that is known as the fragmentation. Okay, so suppose જો તમારું કોઈ data is very much big, suppose તમે કોઈ મોટી size નો mail મોકલાવો છો, તો at that time it is not possible to send whole the data in single packet. It is not possible to send whole data in the single packet. The reason is the intermediate router થી તમારો data pass થાય, the router has some of the capacity that it can store only the 1500 bytes, or it can store only the, suppose we are following the Ethernet frame, then the router has the capacity of storing only the 1500 bytes. Okay, and suppose એના કરતા વધારે size નો જો આપણો data હોય, then at the source side we have to fragment that packet. Okay, so when we are performing the fragmentation means your data is divided into the various sub packets, and for each and every sub packets the header value will be remain same. So this process is known as the fragmentation. Okay, so at the receiving side the one more responsibility of the network layer is જ્યાં સુધી બધા પેકેટ ના આવી જાય. ઓકે, સપોઝ કોઈ મેલ માટે આપણે 10 પેકેટ ક્રિએટ કર્યા છે, તો રિસીવર બાજુ જ્યાં સુધી 10 પેકેટ ના આવી જાય ત્યાં સુધી એને વેઇટ કરવાનું. એકવાર બધા પેકેટ આવી જાય, header value જોઈને પછી એને આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ કરવાનું કે whether they are for the common data or for some different data. તો common data માટે હોય તો બધા પેકેટને ફરી પાછા કમ્બાઈન કરવાના and deliver that data to the upper layer protocols, or we can say they deliver that data to the upper layer or the transport layer. Okay, so this type of deliveries are known as the fragmented delivery, and this process are known as the fragmentation. Okay, router ni capacity કરતા જો તમારો data મોટો હોય, then your data is divided into the various fragments, and receiver બાજુ બધા fragment ને combine થઈને આપણો એક single data unit બને, and that single data unit are delivered to the transport layer. Okay, so these are the duties of network layer. The first one is the packetizing, or we can say that encapsulation and decapsulation. Okay, second important delivery of the network layer is routing, or we can say that forwarding. Okay, so the network layer is responsible for finding the best one among these possible routes. Okay, so for example, suppose when you are searching something on the Google, so it may possible that the path of Google can be multiple. Okay, like let's say one path is going from China, second path is going from Japan. Okay, so Google server સુધી પહોંચવા માટે we can have a multiple paths, but the main responsibility of the network layer is choose the best one. Suppose આપણે પીપી સવાણીથી સુરત સુધી પહોંચવું હોય તો we can have multiple paths possible. Okay, એકવાર આપણે કોસંબાથી પણ જઈ શકીએ, બીજા પાથ આપણે કામરેજથી જઈ શકીએ. ઓકે, તો એમાંથી આપણો જે પાથ we can say best છે, બેસ્ટમાં we need to consider various criteria. Okay, we should have a less traffic, we should have a less delay. Okay, so these are the some criteria that are used to choose the best possible routes. Okay, so for that we require the routing protocols. Okay, so these routing protocols are used to identify the best suitable path to reach the destinations. So we will see that these routing protocols can be, it can be distance vector routing or it can be link state routing. And in distance vector routing, we have the RIP and OSPF. In the link state routing, we have the spanning tree protocol. So this all type of protocol we will see. Okay. The second responsibilities are known as the forwarding. Okay. So forwarding can be defined as the action applied by each router when a packet arrives at one of its interface. Okay. The meaning of forwarding is the router પર આપણું પેકેટ આવે છે તો router has the multiple paths. Router suppose અહીં જે રીતે આપણે ફિગરમાં જોયું કે this router B has the two paths. One path is going from C, another path is going from E. So the meaning of forwarding is it will inspect the routing table and decide whether which path I have to follow. Okay, so if your destination is F, then your packet will go from E. Okay, so at the router B, suppose this one is interface 1, this one is interface 2, this one is interface 3. Okay, so here routing table પરથી we need to decide the destination address જો આપણું આ હોય, then we should send our data from interface number 3. Okay, so this type of decision can be taken by the routers, and these responsibilities are known as the forwarding. Okay, so decision making table, or we can say the routing table or the forwarding table, that are used to identify the particular path to reach destinations. Okay, router પર જો ઘણા બધા interface હોય તો based on the destination address we need to identify કે કયા interface પર આપણે data મોકલવાનો છે. Okay, so this type of deliveries are known as the forwarding. Okay, so these are the two important duties of the network layer. Okay, so let's say this take example of this forwarding process. Okay, so we can see here that we have this router. This has 4 interfaces, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so we know that router is used to connect the different networks. Okay, so this router is connecting the 4 different networks. So for the interface 1 we have the one network, for the interface number 2 we have the second network, for the interface number 3 we have the third network, and for the interface number 4 we have the fourth network. Okay, now we can say that let's say this data comes and this data has the destination value B, destination address માં છે આપણું address number B. So it will check in this forwarding table. Okay, આ જે routing table છે એમાં check કરશે કે destination address B હોય તો કયા interface પર મોકલવાનું. So he can check that destination address જો B હોય તો આપણે output interface 2 પર મોકલવાનું. Okay, same way destination address જો આપણું C હશે, then we need to send into the interface number 3. So આ type no decision can be taken by this routing table. Okay, તો routing table માં જોશે કે destination address B છે તો કયા interface પર મોકલવાનું, તો it will send on the interface number 2. Okay, so here it may possible that when this forwarding can be performed, this destination address are going to be changed, or it may possible that there are some values that are going to be modified by this destination address. We'll see that concept later when we see that routing in the detail. Okay, so the meaning of this forwarding is based on the destination address we need to identify the interface where we have to send our data. So this process are known as the forwarding. Okay, some of the other service are error control. Okay, error control is not fully performed by the network layer. We have seen that error control is majorly responsibilities of the data link layer and the transport layer, but we have one protocol on the network layer. These are known as the ICMP, Internet Control Message Protocol, in which we have some error controlling messages. We have some error controlling messages that are used to perform this error control. Okay, so it is not like that suppose જો તમારો આખો ડેટા ચેન્જ થઈ ગયો હોય કે પછી તમારો બીટ ચેન્જ થઈ ગયો હોય, that type of error can be identified at the network layer, but we have some another type of error controlling mechanism in which we can send the message like for example there is a problem with the fragmentation or there is a problem with the IP address, such type of error can be detected by this network layer protocol, that is ICMP. Okay. Forwarding table and routing table are same. Okay. So here we can see that this destination making table, it is known as the forwarding table and sometimes the routing table. So both are same. Okay. There is no change. Forwarding table and routing table both are same. Then we have the flow control mechanism. So it is also performed by the upper layer protocols. There is no flow control mechanism that can be done by the network layer. For the flow control, it has to depend on the upper layer protocol, or we can say transport layer protocol. So here the flow control is mainly decided by the transport layer protocol, that is TCP and UDP. Okay. Third one is the congestion control. Third one is the congestion control. So suppose for example તમારા નેટવર્કમાં એક સાથે જો ઘણો બધો ડેટા આવી જાય, then it will create the congestion, and suppose there is a congestion, then your packets are going to be lost. Okay, જો તમારા નેટવર્કમાં congestion થઈ જાય, then your packets are going to be lost. Okay, so for example suppose તમારા ક્લાસરૂમની અંદર એક સાથે જો ઘણા બધા લોકો વાત કરવા માંડી જાય તો ઘણો બધો ડેટા ભેગો થઈ જાય, and it may possible that no one is able to listen. So such type of duties, that congestion control, if there is a congestions are going to be started, then we should stop the congestion. So for that we require this some type of congestion mechanism that we will see that are used to stop the congestion, or once the congestion is happen, then also we have this some mechanism that are used to remove the congestion. Okay. The fourth one is quality of service. So this type of services are not useful for text data, but જ્યારે આપણે audio કે video type નું communication કરતા હોય, at that time this QoS, quality of service, is very much important. Okay. So for that we require these some methods that are used to maintain the quality of service. And the fifth one is security. Okay. So in today's world, security is very much important concept related to the network. Okay. So it is the one different area. Also it is a part of the computer network, but still it is, we can say that it is the different area than the computer network. The mechanism or the method that we are following in the security is very much different to the network. Okay. But in the network also we can apply the security. For example, the તમારો network layer no IP protocol છે, so that IP protocols are modified to provide the security. Okay. These IP protocols are modified to provide the security, and it is known as the modified version of IP with security is known as the IPsec. Okay. Same way the તમારા transport layer પર બી we can apply the security. So for example on the TCP protocols is modified with TLS protocol, that is transport layer security. Okay. So same way this some of the protocols on the network layers are going to be modified to provide the security. Okay. So we are not going to talk about the security. It is a very huge field, or we can say the very huge area of the network. So for that you can have one more subject in the next semester, that is information security. In also we are going to discuss about the network security. Okay. So these are not these primary service are only the packetizing and the routing and forwarding. This service we can consider as a supplementary services. So these service are not necessary, but still we will see some brief introduction about all these 5 services. Okay. Okay. Now our main focus is about host to host delivery, and for that we have seen that we require the IP address. So currently we are following the version of IP address, that is the IPv4. Okay, various versions of IP addresses are designed. So currently we have the IPv4, but also there is one more version of IP, that is IPv6. Okay, so IPv6 is also in the market, but still no one is using that IPv6 addressing. But we will see that when we have the more number of devices, okay, IPv4 still have some limitation. So when the number of devices are going to be increased, at that time we require the IPv6 addresses, in which we can have very we can say the address space is very much large. We'll see that IPv6 also in brief. Okay, the first we are going to start with the IPv4 addresses. So we can say that the identifier used in the IP layer or the network layer of the TCP/IP protocol should to identify the connection of each device to the internet is called the internet address or IP address. Okay, so we have one myth, or we can say that generally we are believing that IP address मतलब આપણા device નું address. Okay, generally આપણે એવું માનીએ છીએ કે IP address मतलब આપણા device નું address. Okay, it is not like that. Device નું address is our MAC address. But તમે જો તમારા device થી કોઈ બીજું network access કરતા હોય તો એના માટે જે connection use કરો છો તો તે connection નું address is known as the IP address. So IP address is not an address of the devices, or we can say that IP address is the address of the connection. Okay, so for example, let's say कि तुम्हारा laptop पर कि तुम्हारा PC पर, if you are using the two different connection, if you are using the two different connection to the internet, then it may possible that your laptop or PC can have two different IPs. Okay, for example, Ethernet mate, if you are using one IP address, and for Wi-Fi you are using some another network, so it may possible that you can have a second IP address. Okay, so IP address is not an address of the devices, but we can say that IP address is the address of the particular connection to the internet. Okay, so IPv4 address is a 32-bit address that uniquely and universally defines the connection of a host or a router to the internet. Okay, so size of the IP address. The size of the IP address is 32-bit. The size of the IP address is 32-bit, and it is said that it is unique and universal. It is unique and universal. What is the meaning of unique? So we can say that within the internet, within the network, within the internet, each connection has its unique IP. Each connection has its unique IP. So within the internet, we can't repeat the IP address. Okay, within the whole internet, we can't repeat the IP address. Okay, and second thing is it is universal. Okay, so that means everyone has accepted this 32-bit format. Okay, so it is not like that કે આપણે અહીંયા PC પર 32-bit નું ફોર્મેટ યુઝ કરીએ છીએ અને Google સર્વર પર એ લોકો 64-bit નું ફોર્મેટ યુઝ કરે છે. So at that time it is not possible to perform the connection. So universal means it is accepted by every organizations, or it is accepted by every devices in the internet. Okay, so it is globally accepted by everyone. So that's why we can say that IP address is unique as well as it is universal. Okay, so it defines the connection of a host or a router to the internet. Okay, so this IP address can be assigned to the each and every connection. So whether it can be connection with a host, it can be connection with a router. Okay, so router has its own set of IP addresses, or we can say that every host has its also own set of addresses. So IPv4 address is 32 bits long. The IPv4 addresses are unique and universal. Unique means it is giving the unique connection within the network, and universal means it is providing the universal format. That is 32-bit format. It is globally accepted by all the devices. Okay, the address space of IPv4 is 2:32. Okay, so you can have a question that 32-bit થી આપણે કેટલા કનેક્શન ક્રિએટ કરી શકીએ. ઓકે, સો ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ આપણો 2 બીટ નો ડેટા હોય. ઓકે, સપોઝ વી હેવ અ 2 બીટ ડેટા, then we can create the 4 connection, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, suppose આપણી પાસે 3 બીટ નો ડેટા છે, then we can create the 8 different connection, 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1. Okay, 1 0 0 1 0 1 and 1 1 1. Okay, like that. So same way, suppose આપણી પાસે 32 bit no data છે, then we can create the 2 raised to 32 different connection. So that's why we can say that the address space of IPv4 is 2 raised to 32. Okay, so it is something this large value 42949679296. So we can say that at the time this much connections can be happen within the internet. Okay, આટલા ટાઈપના યુનિક કનેક્શન આપણે ઇન્ટરનેટમાં ક્રિએટ કરી શકીએ જો બધા IPv4 ફોલો કરતા હોય તો. ઓકે, બટ સ્ટીલ ધીસ મચ એડ્રેસીસ આર નોટ સફિશિયન્ટ. કે જ્યારે IoT સ્ટાર્ટ થશે કે પછી જ્યારે ઘણા બધા સેન્સર આવી જશે, તો એટ ધેટ ટાઈમ IPv4 ઇઝ નોટ સફિશિયન્ટ. ધ રીઝન ઇઝ સપોઝ વી આર ટોકિંગ અબાઉટ ધી IoT. સો IoT માં એક સાથે હજારોની સંખ્યામાં સેન્સર હોય. ઓકે, તો બધા સેન્સરને આપણે એક એક એડ્રેસ એસાઇન કરવા પડે. At that time this number of IP addresses are not sufficient. Okay, so general tendency is to move to the IPv6 addresses, in which our address space is we can say the size of the IPv6 address is 128 bit, or that is 2 raised to 128, and that is we can say that 32 times more than this IPv4. Okay, so our general tendency is to move to the IPv6 addresses. Okay, but currently we are following the IPv4. That's why we need to learn about the IPv4. Okay, the different notations that are used in the IP addressing are, the first one is the binary notation. The first one is the binary notation, in which there is a simple binary notation. Okay, so we can say that the size of the IPv4 is 32 bit. So we have the total 32 bit 0 and 1 values. Okay, so here we can make the group of 8 bit. So 8 bit નું એક ગ્રુપ, 8 bit નું બીજું ગ્રુપ, 8 bit નું ત્રીજું ગ્રુપ, 8 bit નું ચોથું ગ્રુપ. So that is total 32 bits. That is total 32 bits. So this type of notations are known as the binary notation. Second notations are known as the dotted decimal notation, જે generally આપણે ડેસ્કટોપમાં જ્યારે આપણે IP કન્ફિગર કરીએ ત્યારે જે ફોલો કરીએ છીએ, these are known as the dotted decimal notation. Dotted decimal notation કઈ રીતે વર્ક કરે? તો જે 8 બીટ ના આપણે જે ચાર ગ્રુપ બનાવ્યા છે, તો 8 બીટ નું જે ગ્રુપ છે, if we are converting this 8 bit into the decimal value, then we can have a dotted decimal notation. અને બધા વચ્ચે we have to put one dot. Okay, so this 1 and 70, this is the binary value of 128. Okay, so 1 followed by 70, that is 128. Then 401011, that is 11. Okay, then 6011 is 3, and 0001 is 31. Okay, so our dotted decimal notation, the values are 128.11.3.31. Okay, third notation is we can also represent the IPv4 in the hexadecimal. We can represent the values into the hexadecimal. Okay, so in the hexadecimal, we know that to represent the one hexadecimal number, we require the 4 binary bit. We require the 4 binary bit. Suppose 1000. Okay, suppose આપણે આ 8 બીટ ને બે પાર્ટમાં ડિવાઇડ કરીએ, તો 1000 is one group and 40 is another group. So 1000 is 8 and this 40 is 0. Okay, so this 170 can be represented by 80. Okay, same way 401011, so its equivalent is 0b. Okay, so 0 and 11, so it is the 0b. Okay, same way 0 and 3, so it is 03. And 1 and 15, 1 and 15 is 1f. Okay, so by that way we can have a 3 different representation of binary, dotted decimal and hexadecimal. You can have a question in the exam that if you are given one notation and you need to convert into the another notation. Okay, binary mathi dotted decimal ma, dotted decimal mathi hexa ma, hexa mathi binary ma. So any type of conversion can be asked in the exam. Okay, for example, change the following IPv4 addresses from binary to dotted decimal. Okay, so ये binary આપેલું છે એને decimal માં convert કરવાનું. Okay, so this આપણું જે first 8 bit નું group છે એનું equivalent હશે આપણું 129 dot, this one is 11 dot 11 dot, this one is 239. Okay, then for the second one, this one is the 193 dot, this one is the 131 dot 27 dot 255. Okay, one more thing is the minimum value for one group. The minimum value for single group is 0. જ્યારે આપણા 8 બીટ જો આપણા 0 હોય, that is the minimum value of one group. Okay, so it can be 0. The maximum value of any group is જ્યારે આપણા 8 બીટ જો આપણા 1 હોય, that is the maximum value in the group. So that is the 255. જો આપણી 8 બીટ જો આપણા 1 હોય, so that is the 255. Okay, so you can have a question that what is the minimum IPv4 address and what is the maximum IPv4 address. So minimum IPv4 address is 0.0.0.0. Okay, the minimum IP address is 0.0.0.0 and the maximum IPv4 address is 255.255.255.255. Okay, so તમારા ચારે ચાર જો 0 હોય, that is the minimum, that is the minimum IPv4 address. અને ચારે ચાર જો તમારા 255 હોય, that is your maximum IPv4 address. Okay, ઓકે, અહીંયા તમને હવે ડેસિમલમાં આપ્યું છે અને કન્વર્ટ કરવા કીધું તમને બાઇનરીમાં. ઓકે, સો 111 નું બાઇનરી થશે આપણું 011011111. 56 નું બાઇનરી થશે આપણું 00111100. ઓકે, સેમ વે 45 નું આ થશે, 78 નું આ થશે. ઓકે, સેમ વે 221 નું આ થશે. ઓકે, 34 નું આ થશે, 7 નું આ અને 82 નું આ. So by that way you can convert from binary to decimal and from decimal to binary. Okay. Find the error, if any, in the following IPv4 address. Okay, so for the first one, 111.56.045.78. Okay, 111.56.045.78. So આમાં શું error છે? The error is જ્યારે આપણે ડેસિમલમાં રિપ્રેઝન્ટ કરતા હોય, so there should not be any leading 0. Okay, 045 ના લખી શકાય, but we have to write down only 45. Okay, for the second one, 221.34.7.8.2. Okay, so what is the error in this? તો આમાં એક સાથે આપણે 4 જ નંબર આવી શકે. ઓકે, એક સાથે આપણે 4 જ નંબર આવી શકે. તો 5 નંબર હોય તો આપણી સાઇઝ કેટલી થઈ જાય? તો સાઇઝ થઈ જાય આપણી 40 બીટ. ઓકે, તો એક સાથે આપણા 4 જ નંબર રિપ્રેઝન્ટ કરી શકાય. તો અહીંયા આપણા 5 નંબર છે, so that's why it is wrong, that's why it is in error. Okay, ત્રીજામાં છે આપણું 75.45.301.14. ઓકે, તો આમાં તો આપણને કંઈ એરર જેવું લાગતું નથી. સ્ટીલ there is some error. ઓકે, સ્ટીલ some error, કોઈ લીડિંગ 0 પણ નથી. સપોઝ ખાલી 4 જ નંબર છે, still there is one error. The reason is I have said that the maximum value possible for any number is 255. જ્યારે આપણા 8 બીટ જો 1 હોય, તો maximum value possible is 255. Okay, but અહીંયા value છે આપણી 301. That is more than the 255. So that's why this error, this address is in the error. Okay, અહીંયા લાસ્ટમાં શું કર્યું છે આપણે? બાઇનરી અને ડેસિમલ બંનેને કમ્બાઇન કર્યા છે. That is also not possible. Either we can follow the decimal notation or we can follow the binary notation. We cannot combine both. We cannot combine both. So that's why this fourth one is also in the error. Okay. So such type of question can be also asked. Okay. Now here I have said that your 32-bit address can be divided into the two parts, that is the prefix and suffix. So prefix can be known as the net ID, while the suffix can be known as the host ID. Prefix can be known as the net ID and suffix can be known as the host ID. So this prefix or the net ID can be used to identify the particular network. Okay. While the suffix or we can say the host ID that are used to identify the particular host within the network. Okay. Or we can say the particular connection within the network. Okay. So suppose we have let's say આપણે જોયેલું જે example 192.168.10.1. So એમાં આપણું હતું 192.168.10. So 8 plus 8 plus 8. So total 24 bits are used as a prefix. 24 bits are used as a prefix and these are used to identify the network. While dot 1, dot 2, dot 3, dot 4, okay. So these are known as the suffix. These are known as the suffix. So here in that case 192.168.10.1, okay. So 192.168.10, that are 24 bit are used as a network ID, while the remaining 8 bit are used as a host ID. Okay. So first 24 bit are used to identify the whole network, while the remaining 8 bit are used to identify the particular host within the network. Okay, we have some example also. So suppose આપણે 192.168.10.1. So 192.168.10 થી આપણે નેટવર્ક આઇડેન્ટિફાઈ કરીએ છીએ તો આપણા કેટલા બીટ રહી ગયા? તો we can say that આપણા 8 બીટ રહી ગયા. So 8 બીટ થી આપણી કેટલી પોસિબલ વેલ્યુ થાય? So જે 8 બીટ થી આપણી પોસિબલ વેલ્યુ કેટલી થાય? So we can say that 2 raised to 8. Using this 8 remaining 8 bit, we can have possible 2 raised to 8, or we can say that 256 values. Okay. So within that network, we can have a 256 different hosts are possible. તે નેટવર્કમાં આપણે એક સાથે 256 હોસ્ટ ને કનેક્ટ કરી શકીએ. ઓકે. સો આ ટાઈપના મિકેનિઝમ જે રીતે જોયું આપણે કે જે 8 બીટ થી આપણે we can create 256 different hosts. So this type of addressings are known as the class full addressing. Okay. This type of addressings are known as the class full addressing. But generally we are using the class less addressing. But class less addressing ne samajhwa માટે we require the class full addressing. So first we will see the class full addressing. So when the internet started, an IPv4 address was designed with a fixed length prefix. Okay. But to accommodate both small and large networks, 3 fixed length prefix were designed instead of 1. Okay. So અહીં આપણે જોયું કે we can have prefix and suffix. તો જ્યારે આપણું internet જ્યારે start થયું, at that time they have defined some fixed value of the prefix. Okay. So the prefix can be either 8 bit, it can be 16 bit, or it can be 24 bit. Okay. It can be 8 bit or 16 bit or 24 bit. And based on that, we can have 5 classes of addresses. So these are known as the 5 classes A, B, C, D, and D. Okay. So the whole address space, that are total 2 raised to 32 addresses of IPv4s are divided into the 5 classes. So these classes are class A, class B, class C, class D, and class E. Okay. So the class full addressing, the address space is divided into the 5 classes A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. Now, how we have divided our classes into the how we have divided our address space into the 5 classes. So here we have a 2 type of notation, that is the binary notation and dotted decimal notation. We have seen that we can divide our 32 bit into the 4 byte, or we can say that 4 group, and each group is of 8 bit. 8 bit no એક group, 8 bit no બીજું group, 8 bit no ત્રીજું group, and 8 bit no ચોથું group. And 8 bit can be considered as a 1 byte also. So the first byte, second byte, third byte, and fourth byte. Okay. Now for class A, they have decided that the first bit is always 0. Class A માટે in the binary notation, first bit is always 0. Okay. For the class B, the first 2 bits are always 1, 0. For the class C, the first 3 bits are 110, and for class D, the first 4 bits are 1110, and for class C, it is the 41. Okay. Now you can see here that class 0. Okay. So આપણે first bit જો ફિક્સ કરી દઈએ અહીંયા ફર્સ્ટ બાઇટમાં ફર્સ્ટ બીટ જો આપણે ફિક્સ કરી દઈએ ઓકે તો કેટલા બીટ બાકી રહ્યા આપણા તો ધી 7 bits are remaining આપણે અહીં 7 બીટ બાકી રહ્યા છે ઓકે સાથે 7 બીટ જો આપણા 0 હોય then we have the first value that is 0 okay સાથે 7 બીટ જો આપણા 1 હોય then we have the last value of class A, that is the 127. Okay, so we require some explanation, so I will show you in the notepad in the next lecture. Okay, so for today it is enough. From this we will see in the next lecture.